You guys ready? Good morning. We will start this meeting at 9:03. Welcome to the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors meeting, and Happy New Year. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, followed by the invocation by Mike Gunnarsson with City Ministry Network. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for today, thank you for our community, and thank you for a new year. I pray for our county, Stanislaus. I pray that each of the citizens of our county would find joy and hope and health and provision. Please restore the broken parts of our community. I pray that families would thrive, businesses would prosper, schools would flourish, that farms would produce, and neighborhoods would experience peace and healthy relationships. I pray for our leaders who are here today. I pray that you would bless their families, their friendships, their health, and their businesses. Protect them, lead them. Help each of them to come to fully know the depth of your love for them. I pray that you would give them wisdom and insight and integrity as they lead. Guide their discussion and their decisions on every agenda item today. I pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, now we come to the best part of the agenda, which is the election of the 2024 Chairman and Vice Chairman of Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors.
I'd like to, are you going to take a nomination? Yeah.
I will take a motion.
Motion. All right, I'd like to make a motion that Supervisor Manny Graywall sit in the chair, move from Vice Chair to Chair, and that Supervisor Buck Condit move into the Vice Chair position.
And I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Supervisor Chiesa and a second by Supervisor Withrow. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously 5-0. Congratulations to Chairman Manny Graywall. I know you'll do an exceptional job, and if you're as happy as I am today, I know you're very, very happy. So I'm looking forward to Supervisor Graywall. He's done an exceptional job as my Vice Chair, and I know he'll do just as great a job as Chairman. So congratulations, Manny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate my colleagues. That was a tough vote, and I know you've taken many tough votes over your careers, but I appreciate the honor to represent the Board of Supervisors as Chairman for the year of 2024. Big shoes to fill. Supervisor Chance Condit has done an extraordinary job leading us the past year, running some of the most efficient meetings. By when I say efficient, I mean nice and concise, but also taking on big policy issues over that year. We had the infrastructures, monies that were spent over the year. He was a chair during those meetings, and then just all the other policy discussions that we had over the year. So we really thank Chairman Chance Condit for his leadership, and then also congratulations to Supervisor Buck Condit to be Vice Chair, and I appreciate having somebody that's an ally to see if there's events or meetings that I can't make. I know I'll be well represented with Supervisor Buck Condit. And I can't thank enough Supervisor Vito Chiesa and Supervisor Terry Withrow. They were on the board prior to me getting on the board, and the vast amount of knowledge that they have about the county, and they have just about life. I cherish their friendship and their leadership. It's meant a lot for me to kind of acclimate here on the Board of Supervisors, and I wouldn't be able to do it without their guidance, leadership, and support. It means a lot to me. All right, so the next order of business, the proverbial gavel, framing of the gavel, or gavel frame, which you get when you've done 1 year as chairman of the board. So recognition for the 2023 chairman of the board of supervisors. So Supervisor Chance Condon, if you could please come up, and we can all thank you for your leadership over the year of 2023. Well, like I said, I think I already said it while I was sitting down, but now that I'm standing up, would like to reiterate all of the things I said earlier. Supervisor Chance Condon was a great chair. It was great being under your leadership, being your vice chair meant a lot to me. I have very big shoes to fill. Chance did a superb job making sure that the meetings ran well, keeping us updated on issues that he felt the entire board needed to know, working with staff, and just making the county a huge success in 2023. Again, big shoes to fill, but I look forward to all of your assistance and support to make sure we have a great 2024. So as chairman of 2023, if you would like to say a few words.
Well, I'm going to stay consistent with how concise I am and just say thank you. I know Manny's going to do an exceptional job as our chairman upcoming for 2024. And the only reason why I have big shoes to fill is because I wear a size 13. That's the only reason. This guy's going to do great. I have all the confidence in the world in him, and he's just going to be a great leader for Stanislaus County. So give it up to Manny Graywall. Over by this.
Oh.
Chair. I had some really good.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right. And our next item is a 15-year Employee Service Award for Supervisor Vito Chiesa. Like I've said, Supervisor Chiesa, now being on the board for 15 years, he's been a guiding light for all of us that have come onto the board and for the county for the past 15 years. So it's more than well deserved to recognize his 15 years of service to Stanislaus County. And to do that honor, it'll be Supervisor Terry Withrow, who's served many of those years alongside Supervisor Chiesa.
Supervisor Chiesa, here you go, give me this. Okay, congratulations, 15 years. So I went back and I tried to see who you've served with. First of all, you and I met on a basketball court, I think at the SOS, a few years back. And I remember we were talking about being supervisor at that point. Remember that we were talking? Yeah. So anyway, that's the first time we got together. And when I first got elected, Vito got 2 years ahead of me. You were here for 2 years before I started. And I can remember two people came to me. One was Jeff Grover right after the election, and then it was you who came to me and said, what can I do to help? How can I help you? So I so much appreciate that. So I went back over the years to see how many different people you have served with here on this board. And it's amazing. You think about it, we're pretty consistent. We have the same people for a long time. But if you go back and look over the last 15 years, who you've served with, Jeff Grover, Dick Monteith, Jim DeMartini, Bill O'Brien, Tom Berrio, Kristen Olson, myself, then Manny and Buck and Chance. So there's been variety here, and you've been a constant for 15 years here on this board. If you look back at what things that you've accomplished, kind of things that have been important to you and have really made a difference in this community, CSAC, you got involved in CSAC right off the bat, and eventually became president of CSAC, which is a big deal. With 58 counties, you became the president of the California State Association of Counties. The other thing that you did that I always look back and think that just wasn't going to happen and was a negative bailout, right? So this county for since Prop 13? Since Prop 13 was passed, this county was in a bad spot as far as property tax. We would get 11 cents on every dollar that came in. And it was just an injustice that was done when this thing first passed. I heard about it when I first got elected. Everybody talked about it and complained about it, but you did something about it. And I would say you pretty much single-handedly Yeah, you did. You went back and you pushed hard with our legislators to make this thing happen. And we were all just amazed at what a difference. And then the millions of dollars that brings into this county now as a result of that. And you just didn't give up. You just continued to work with it. With whoever our legislator, our state senator was, our assembly person at the time, you just were constant until this thing happened. And right down to the last second. I mean, I can just remember you were working this, and I was still thinking, there's no way in hell this is going to work out. And it did. It was just amazing. So that kind of stuff is what makes a difference in this community to everybody here. And it's your efforts to do that. And I know that the wear and tear of this job, just in having been here, and you and I have commiserated over the years on this stuff, what it does to our families and our personal lives and our jobs, our day jobs, what it takes to do this. And people just don't realize that, the effort and the sacrifice that it takes to make this thing work. So 15 years, congratulations on that. And you're in your 4th year of your 4th term. And I'm going to make a prediction right now that you're going to have a landslide victory in your next election here. And we will get you for 4 more years. And I've always said, and you and I always say, I wouldn't do this job without you. I don't think I could have kept doing it without you here by my side. And so one of these days, one of us is going to end up without the other because we're at alternating election cycles. But we love you to death. This whole county loves you. Everybody here loves you. And we appreciate all you've done for us. And we're looking forward to 4 more years after this. Congratulations. I'm going to let you talk.
My wife right there in the back, raise your hand. She said, I love you. And she said, this is the greatest day of your life, isn't it? No. So it's been just a high honor to serve District 2. And the staff, I think we talk about the supervisors I've been through. Last time I counted, it was about 85 department heads. And so, you know, as new people come in, you spend time trying to learn different ways that people like information and how they react to, you know, the 5 of us. But it just is a great place, great employees, great board members, great CEO and leadership team. I just feel honored every day. And if I go back to 8th grade, and this is a joke, but it's not really a joke, my 8th grade English teacher told me you got 2 chances of graduating 8th grade, slim and none. And see what you can do? Because I graduated. That's just a joke, Mr. Jepson, I'm sorry. So good times ahead, hopefully for the county, and I'll continue to work hard on behalf of the 550,000 citizens. It's an honor to serve with the 4 of you. Thanks.
You gotta take a photo real quick. She's coming with it. Sorry. Oh, sure. It's got a thing in.
This is a great day. Get to acknowledge everybody's accomplishments and everything. And I want to also appreciate my wife, my parents, my brother, and my son who came. And I told them, I said, you know, it might be a tough vote, so it might be a little bit anticlimactic, but I appreciate you guys taking the time and coming. So that means a lot to me. And Mayor Zollin, Mayor of City of Modesto, is also here, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. All right, so next order of business is public comment period for members of the public comment, for members to speak during public comment. So if I don't have any cards, but if anybody would like to speak during public comment. That's easy. All right, seeing none. All right, moving on to consent calendar. So going on the consent items. So if there's any members of the public wanting to take any items off to discuss, or members of the board. Seeing none, I would request a motion.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, consent calendar passes. Next is public hearings. Discussion items. Approval to rehire Adolph Lopez prior to the 180-day sit-out period as required by the Public Employees Pension Reform Act of 2013. And we have Doris Foster. Good morning, Doris.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman Grewal, members of the board, Chief Executive Officer Hayes, County Council Bowes. I'm Doris Foster, your Director of Workforce Development. Before you today is a request to rehire Adolph Lopez prior to the 180-day sit-out period as required by the Public Employees Pension Reform Act 2013. Mr. Lopez retired from Stanislaus County November 17, 2023. Prior to retiring, Mr. Lopez served as the manager over the Contracts and Planning Division and as a regional organizer for the State Workforce Development Board. I'm requesting to rehire Mr. Lopez as an extra help part-time capacity to continue his duties as a regional organizer for the state. The position of the regional organizer is fully funded by the state. In 2016, the state divided up the local area planning units into 14 areas and has recently updated it into 15 areas. Stanislaus County Workforce Development is part of the San Joaquin Valley and associated counties, which comprises of 8 local workforce development boards: Fresno, Kern Inyo, Kings, Madera, Merced, San Joaquin, Stanislaus, and Tulare. The primary responsibility of the region is to create regional plan goals, support ongoing efforts to enhance collaboration of regional workforce leaders, support the development and implementation of the regional plan, work towards accomplishing technical assistant plan goals, provide training consultants for regional staff development, and coordinate logistics for training conducted within the region. In fiscal year 2020-2021, Stanislaus County Workforce Development accepted the request to be the regional organizer for the San Joaquin Valley and associated counties. At that time, Mr. Lopez transferred from his human resource duties and became the manager over contracts and planning, and additionally took on the duties of regional organizer. One of the main things that Mr. Lopez has been responsible for as the regional organizer is our regional plan, as well as attending quarterly regional plan meetings. Approximately 6 months ago, the state reached out to me to share that Mr. Lopez has been a mentor and leader to the other regional organizers. They have since asked him to present at workforce development conferences on the processes and procedures that make Stanislaus County and the San Joaquin Valley and associated counties so successful. All of the other directors in the region are grateful for the work we have done and have expressed how much they value Mr. Lopez. We are requesting that Mr. Lopez assist as we develop the 2025-2029 regional plan. Additionally, I'm waiting to see the impacts of the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act reauthorization. At this time, I'm not sure if the changes will include a regional organizer. This will give us time to see if there are any changes. So staff recommendations for you today are to certify the rehiring of Adolph Lopez as an extra help part-time capacity as a manager 3 is necessary to provide critical operations and administrative support prior to the passage of the 180-day period, and authorize workforce development to rehire retiree Adolph Lopez as an extra help part-time manager 3 prior to the 180-day sit-out period as required by the Public Employees Pension Reform Act of 2023. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Great. Any questions for Doris? Any questions from members of the public? Great. Seeing none, bringing it back to the board for a possible motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. All right, I got a motion from Supervisor Buck Condit and second from Supervisor Terry Withrow. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, motion passes. All right, next item, item number 2, acceptance and approval of the Sheriff's Office, District Attorney's Office, and Probation Department's AB 481 Annual Military Equipment Report.
Good morning.
Jeff Dirksey. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on your chairmanship, members of the board. This report is conforming to AB 481, Assembly Bill 481. This report to the board is, quite frankly, in my opinion, one of the dumber requirements set forth by the state. And this is all around the use of military equipment by law enforcement, specifically for the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and the Probation Office here in Stanislaus County. And Chief Mark Ferreira and Chief Investigator Terry Cease are here from the DA's office to answer any questions respectively for those organizations. So under this, in December of 2022, the board approved a local ordinance that approved our policies at the Sheriff's Office that allowed us to use military equipment. And with that, the board is required to annually review our report and accept it. And this is considered the public engagement meeting for that particular aspect of the law. As I've stated before, when this ordinance was adopted, virtually everything that we use at the Sheriff's Office could be construed as military equipment. They literally use everything in the military. So I think that it's a bit silly, but there are 15 categories, but only under this assembly bill, but only 6 of them actually apply to locally to our law enforcement agencies, and I'm only going to cover those 6. Category 1 is regarding unmanned aerial systems, or UAVs, drones, our robots, and so on. That includes like our bomb team robots. The Sheriff's Office and the DA's office have a variety of platforms in there, mostly in flying drones other than our bomb team robots, and they have been used throughout the year. The Sheriff's Office alone has flown the drones 424 times in the last year, the DA's office 20 times, and we've deployed our bomb robot 24 times. Category 2 would be what they consider the mine-resistant anti-armored personnel carriers, the MRAPs, or ambush protected, depending on how you want to interpret that one. We have no MRAPs, but we do have 2 of the armored vehicles in the Sheriff's Office. They are both Linco products, a Bearcat and a Medcat. The Medcat is the newest one that we received this year. That one was approved by the board a year ago, about 18 months ago now. It's a 4-wheel drive vehicle. That one is specifically designed around medical evacuations, even though it can carry deputies on SWAT missions or whatnot. And that one also has a fire monitor on it, so should we ever have a critical incident where we would have to fight a fire but need an armored vehicle to do that, we do have that capability. And unfortunately, we have had that scenario in our county several years ago. And those vehicles are used regularly. We do not specifically track armored vehicle deployments, but I will tell you that we use them on average of once a week in some way, shape, or form, whether it's for training or a search warrant or a SWAT service or something like that. It's just not something that we track. No intention there of not relaying that information. We use them all the time. Category 5 would be command and control vehicles, and we have several that fall into this category. We have what we now kind of call our mobile substation. That's the kind of the big RV that you guys are familiar with. Usually use it like Apricot Fiesta out on the west side, the Fair, something like that. Big. It's actually getting remodeled right now. We have our crime scene van, which was used yesterday at a crime scene. That's mostly used by our investigations personnel. And we have 3 Sprinter vans, 2 of which are specifically utilized for command posts, and they are deployed, quite frankly, weekly for any kind of significant incident. We have the 3rd of those is specifically designed and developed for our hostage negotiation team, and that one just came online last year. And again, we don't track the usage of those. Category 10 is specialized firearms and ammunition less than 50 caliber, and this does not include standard issue platforms. So at the Sheriff's Office and the DA's office, AR-15 type platforms are standard issued for us, so they are not factored into this report. The only item of note here is that probation has 8 rifles that they use just for training and familiarization, and Chief Ferreira can speak to that in greater detail if needed. Category 12 would be flashbang grenades and explosive breaching tools, tear gas, and pepper balls. We do have a variety of munitions that fall into this category. We have pepper ball launchers, NFDDs, which is a flashbang, a noise flash diversionary device is what that stands for. We have a variety of either CS or OC gases that we use in situations, smoke canisters and sting balls, which are, that's exactly what they are. You can shoot them, fire them, deploy them, and they sting if they hit you. Category 14 are projectile launch platforms associated with various munitions. Specifically, we have these in two categories. We have our less lethal shotguns, which is simply a Remington 870 platform that fires typically a beanbag round. They are very useful for gaining compliance from combative subjects who are at distance, especially. And then our 40-millimeter launchers, they launch a variety of less lethal rounds like a foam baton, sting balls, and then essentially aerial flashbangs. That it's kind of like the mortars that everybody shoots off on the 4th of July, even though they're not supposed to. And we have a variety of uses for those platforms or those systems in 2023. Our CERT team deploys them. Theirs were only used for training. We've not had to deploy them in any of our facilities in an operational standpoint. Patrol has deployed them 34 times in 2023 on a variety of circumstances. Detectives 6 times, and our SWAT team 25 times, specifically flashbangs for the SWAT team. And that concludes my report, pending any questions from the board or the community, and I'm happy to answer those questions.
Any members of the board that have questions from Sheriff Dirksey? All right, taking out to the public. Any members of the public? Please, sir. Go up there. Yeah, please. And please state your name.
I was listening to him, and
could
my
you,
name's Frank Mireles,
Could you? Oh, yeah.
and I was listening to him, and you see the way I'm dressed? I've been pulled over, and they harass me, and then after they're done, they have a great day, and it's like, how many times do you guys do that a year? I don't
Can
see
you please
logging
address
that
the,
in.
Can you please address the board?
I mean, I don't see them logging that in. He's saying, this is what we did, this is how many times we did this. How many times did you pull over somebody and didn't had anything to do with it, and then release them? I just want to see the numbers. Do we have a number? Because I know I got pulled over one time. The guy said, your lights don't work, and I called him a liar, and I'm outspoken. I told him to his face, and then I also said, I'm going to exercise my right to ask your watch commander to come out here, because me and you got a problem. When we walked outside in the back, the lights were working. And then he tells me, where are you going? I go, what do you think? I got a pizza right here. Then after he went through the whole thing, he goes, you have a nice day. That took me 30 minutes of my time. I don't see any of those reports through him. How many times have you done, any of your officers made errors, so we know how many times they're making errors to the public? If we could have a number to that, that'd be great. That way we know what you guys need to address, what he needs to address. Because I know in San Jose, I sued the city of San Jose because they told me, you look like a duck, you walk like the duck, you talk like a duck, you're gonna get treated like a duck. And this was in front of their superior. And I sued that officer. And I told the guy, you wanna give me a suit? I don't wear suits. And they learned their lesson, because when I got done, I made $3,000 off the officer, and I made $3,000 off the county. I just wanna know, how many errors do they make and they record and bring it to your attention? That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other members of the public? No.
Ron McMurtry, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and congratulations, Mr. Chairman, on your promotion. I know any kind of bureaucracy is annoying for any kind of officials that have to conduct public business, but I would like to say, as a member of the public, I do appreciate this requirement because I didn't understand the scope of what was going on, and it's nice that the public gets reported to every so often. So I appreciate this, and I would like to concur that I would like to see numbers for some of like how often the equipment is used and jurisdiction. I assume this is in the unincorporated areas of the county, but I wouldn't mind knowing a little more. Sorry, Sheriff. Thank you.
So to that end, this report is already posted, the complete report is already posted on our website, as well as the DA's website and the probation department's website. And to the first gentleman's question, that since this one specifically revolves around military equipment and usage, every year the Sheriff's Department does an annual report that has a variety of statistics. We've actually condensed it. The first year's was 54 pages, of which I think the public read about 2. So I think last year's was in the teens. But that includes a variety of statistics on crime statistics, internal affairs statistics, and as far as I'm aware, we are the only department in our county that releases internal affairs statistics, which would be things like complaints and internally initiated investigations. So with that, this, I think, requires a board vote for acceptance.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Sheriff, for the presentation. And like Sheriff said, that it's been posted on the Sheriff's website, District Attorney's website, and probation website for public consumption. Is there any other members of the public? I know there was a couple questions. Any other members of the public? Bringing it back to the board, Supervisor Chiesa.
I just want to ask you the question, or you can let the gentleman know if someone has an issue, what's the process?
Yep. If anybody has any kind of complaint, the citizen complaint form is on our website. It's available in English and Spanish, and I think the website either currently does, or the new version, which is getting developed, I think will translate into, I think it's 20-some languages as needed. So they can submit that. They can always call and speak to a watch commander or something. So the first portion will generate a formal complaint. There's formal and informal, and they can just call and reach out to someone, and anyone can email me directly through our website. Right on our homepage, about halfway down, there's a button that says email the sheriff, and it comes directly to me and me alone. And then I don't always personally respond. Sometimes I will forward it to an appropriate entity for response that may have the specific details requested, but a variety of ways to reach out to us.
All right. Thank you. All right, if there's no further questions from the board, I would request a motion for the acceptance of the annual report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion by Supervisor Buck-Condit, second by Supervisor Vito-Chiesa. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right, next we have correspondence.
This board has received the correspondence and claims as noted on the agenda.
All right, acknowledge receipt of correspondence and refer as recommended. All right, item number 10, Board of Supervisors reports. Any members of the board that have any updates for this new year?
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and then we have representatives from Congressman John Duarte's office, Gavin Klein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, county staff, community. Thank you, Gavin Klein, Congressman Duarte's office. First, I just want to say Happy New Year and congratulations on both the chairs and vice chair. Congress is back in session currently. The first day back is today. Congressman Duarte remains on the same 3 committees, as well as subcommittees, and those 3 main committees are agriculture, natural resource, and transportation infrastructure, which are very viable to this community in our district. And Congressman's continuing to advocate for California's 13th congressional district and DC as well in district. And it's been truly a great year working with you all in 2023, and we look forward to working all together in 2024. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gavin. Next, we have from Assemblymember Juan Alanis's office, Justin Farkas.
Well, good morning, Board of Supervisors and Chairman Graywall. I just wanted to start with the congratulations both from myself and from the Assemblyman. I let him know this morning of your appointment, and he's extremely grateful to have such a cohesive board, and we're really looking forward to the progress that we can make in the legislature next year with all of your support. So as many of you may know already, we had a very successful year last year in session with our legislative package and the things we were able not only to get passed, but stop from being passed, and same bills like Assembly Bill 749 banning the use of canines for apprehensions of by our law enforcement officers. So this year we're expecting and hoping to have equal, if not greater, results in the legislature, and that's going to start with some of the new committee appointments that we received. So last year we served on 7 committees. This year we're going to be serving on 6. However, we did receive a new vice chairmanship appointment. We're going to be the newly serving vice chair of the Agriculture Committee for the State Assembly, which is really resonates with the heart of our district. We were also removed from the Budget Committee and the subcommittee on budget. That's the Human Services Committee, as well as the Human Services Committee. So we've been removed from those 3 committees, but in replacement of those, we have been added to both the Labor Employment and Employment Committee, which deals with public jobs, wages, hours, Cal OSHA, and other matters. And we've also been appointed to the Military and Veterans Affairs Committee, having our district being so disproportionate in terms of the amount per capita of veterans that we have in our community. We're really grateful to be serving on both on that one among the others, and we hope with our legislative package you guys are supportive of us going into the new year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, legislative, fiscal, and management reports by CEO Hayes.
Just a quick report to acknowledge that we should receive in the next 24 hours the initial January budget release from the state of California and Governor Newsom. Very interested to see how the governor approaches the budget deficit that we previously discussed at our last meeting. I'm sure this will make big headlines here pretty soon in the next 24 hours, and we'll be back talking about it in the coming weeks.
All right, well, with nothing else to do, this meeting is adjourned at 9:39. And then I'll be asking County Council to report for our closed session items.
Yes, we have closed session this morning. We have a conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, Subdivision D1. We have 2 cases to consider. The estate of Alexander Mann et al. Versus County of Stanislaus et al. That's in the U.S. District Court, Eastern District, and the case number is 121 CV 01098. And we have the case of Tiffany Macias et al. Versus Stanislaus County et al. That's in the Stanislaus County Superior Court, and the case number is CV 23000626. And with that, appropriate for public comment on closed session.
Any members from the public with questions about items in public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll adjourn this meeting to closed session. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year, and appreciate you guys taking the time to come to today's meeting.